Welcome to Mox Zirconia. My name is Colin, and today we'll be learning all about the combo that has completely turned standard upside down. Alright, so when you want to build a deck, particularly for a format that you want to play, you need to know kind of how the format works. And sometimes there are combo decks in the format that must be accounted for when you're brewing your deck. So today we're going to talk about one of the most popular combo decks in Standard right now, which is the Saheeli Rai Felidar Guardian Copycat combo deck. Now, for some people, this combo and how this works might have been obvious when you've first seen the card, but sometimes it's not. And so I want to go and explain how the combo works and ways you can disrupt the combo if you're brewing for Standard right now, because being able to evaluate cards is very important for brewing good decks, especially when new sets come out and you're trying to find cards that go well with other cards. So this series of videos where we're going to be highlighting some of the more prominent combos in Magic will hopefully make it so that as you learn how to read the cards and read them together, your brain can start making some of these connections on your own for how combos work in Magic. The Saheeli Rai Felidar Guardian Cat combo is an infinite combo that can win you the game, meaning when you get both cards on the battlefield at the same time, the combo triggers and it can trigger infinite times. So let's talk about how it works. Felidar Guardian is a 4 casting cost creature for 3 and a white. It's a 1/4 cat. And it says, when Felidar Guardian enters the battlefield, you may exile another target permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So basically, you get to blink anything. It can be one of the lands that you just tap to play Felidar Guardian. It can be another creature that has a good enter the battlefield effect, or it can be the other half of the combo, which is a new planeswalker from Kaladesh called Saheeli Rai. And Saheeli Rai is a 3 casting cost planeswalker for 1 blue-red for a 3 loyalty planeswalker. It basically has 3 abilities, but the most important ability is the -2 ability in the middle, which is create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. That token gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. So, when Saheeli Rai is on the battlefield and you play a Felidar Guardian can blink Saheeli Rai, meaning even if you've used any of its planeswalker abilities this turn, it leaves the battlefield and then returns to the battlefield with its full loyalty of 3 and the ability to use its planeswalker abilities again. So essentially, if you play Felidar Guardian and then you play the Saheeli Rai's -2 ability targets Felidar Guardian, which creates a copy of the Felidar Guardian, which enters the battlefield, which targets Saheeli Rai, who then gets a new, fresh, clean slate to make a new copy of Felidar Guardian, and which then blinks Felidar Guardian, which then blinks Saheeli Rai, and they go back and forth until what you end up with is an infinite number of 1/4 cats that have haste. So when they have haste, that means you can attack with them that turn, and that's how it works. Obviously, your opponents were probably not creating infinite blockers while you were creating infinite creatures, and that is how the combo works. They just bounce back and forth. 2-card combos are very, very potent, and this one in particular is difficult because it can come out of nowhere. You can play both cards easily in one turn. In fact, when you play the Felidar Guardian, you can untap one of the lands you played it with, and then you can do it, actually, we don't even need all 7 lands. You can do it with 6, or 4 and a mana rock, or you can ramp into it if you have them. So it's very real, it's a very potent combo, and any deck right now that is in Standard, or any deck you're brewing in Standard, needs to take this combo into account. So, that said, there are some ways to deal with this combo. Basically, in the middle of the combination, you can respond to one of the triggers, like, for example, Saheeli leaving the battlefield for the blink effect, and you can then target Saheeli Rai with a card like Shock, which it deals 2 damage to target creature or player at instant speed. Obviously, you can redirect the damage from the player to Saheeli, and then if you kill Saheeli, then she can't leave or come back to the battlefield, and that breaks the combo. Other options are to tap the creatures that are created by the combo so that they can't attack that turn, and then Saheeli's extra ability says that they would then be exiled at the end of that turn. So if they can't use them to attack, then they can make as many cats as they want, but if they can't attack you with it, they can't win the game. So 2 cards that are popular in sideboards to deal with this when this deck arrives are Authority of the Consuls, which means that you gain a life each time a creature enters the battlefield, so that can really... It can negate the damage that would be dealt when the creatures attack normally, and also causes them all to enter the battlefield tapped. Or Thalia, Heretic Cathar, which causes all of the opponent's creatures to enter the battlefield tapped and prevents them from attacking. So that is the combo, that's how it works, and that is what you need to watch out for if you're seeing a lot of energy cards or people digging for things and they're holding up and they have Jeskai, or most commonly it's a sort of a base green color. A lot of times they'll use a card called Oath of Nissa to help them with their mana fixing and also to help them find the pieces of this combo. So if you start seeing that and you start suspecting that it's the Felidar Guardian Saheeli combo, you need to either try to win the game quickly, get ready with a counterspell to counter one of them, or in game 2, if it hits you, board in the answers that you need to prevent the combo from getting you again. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for anybody who didn't understand how the Felidar Guardian cat combo, also called Copycat combo, works, and that hopefully it will help you look out for it in Standard in the future. And also, I hope that this idea of looking at cards to see how the combos work is one that inspires you to look at other cards and sort of see how they work together for your own brews. Please join us for our weekly podcast called Mox Team Zirconia. You can find that on iTunes or Stitcher or anywhere you would find podcasts or listen to podcasts. And we brew a new deck every week on the podcast to inspire you to think about cards in new ways and to spark your creativity to make decks of your own. Also, we have lots more YouTube content in the works and coming, so please subscribe to this channel on YouTube so that you'll know when we post new videos like this. We're also going to be doing things like brewing prompts and other ways to sort of get people excited and enabled when you're thinking about brewing your own decks. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.